So beautiful day, good thing happened today. So Fulton County, Georgia, Judge McAfee made a great decision. Chesborough had filed to have his case severed from Powell. Apparently, Powell's known as the Kraken or the crazy chick or the crazy lady. And so I guess Chesborough was worried that if to be prosecuted, alongside this lady, Powell, that it would affect his case one way or another, especially since they were, miles apart, right? And I'll get into that later, especially since they were involved in this RICO conspiracy miles apart. This can only hurt them as well, because you go to court and you have a co-defendant. One co-defendant can say something about you, and you can say something about that co-defendant. So, everybody's nervous here about that. What can be said, and then what that does is that opens up the window, or opens the door to a lot of other things. So if someone says something that wasn't already known or wasn't brought up in discovery, it can be used as leverage, not just against that co-defendant, but everybody else. Now, I'm not an attorney, but I'm just kind of repeating everything that I've been listening to, and I've been doing some reading, and I've been doing a little bit of research. So this is what I'm getting. This is all from the research and from what we're hearing and reading. So so the judge says, no, there's no need to sever their case. There's no need to try them separate. There's no need to worry about, one inadvertently affecting the other. That goes along for the other 17 defendants. Because the thing is that since they're all being tried under the RICO Act, they're all being tried under the same charge. So all of the evidence, all of the key witnesses, everybody applies to all of them together as a collective. So there's no need to. That would just delay. That would waste more time. And I think this Judge McAfee, he's hip to that. He knows that Trump loves to delay. He knows that he just loves to put things off. And he's like, no, I'm not going to delay. I'm not going to put things off. We're going to get this trial done, and we're going to move forward. Apparently there's like a 4-month. It's thought to take 4 months for prosecution per defendant. So I don't know how they're going to work that out. Obviously, these prosecutions can go well into next year, maybe even the year after. But the judge said no, there's no need to try these two cases separate. Everything being prosecuted goes against everybody equally, And so with this lady being thought as a crazy person, Chesborough's thinking, well, hell, if she goes out there and she's acting crazy, that's going to affect me. Powell asked for a speedy trial. Chesborough asked for a speedy trial. The judge said, fine, I'll be happy to listen to them before anybody else, and then we'll get to everybody else. But they're all going to be tried equally the same way. Well, everything that's being presented, all the evidence and all witnesses are equal amongst all of them. So that's great. So that lets us know, that shows us that for democracy purposes, these defendants aren't able just to come and narrate a story of, oh my God, please, because all the other co-defendants are already stating, well, there's conflicts, and there's date conflicts, and there's this conflicts, and there's that conflicts, which is they're going to have to deal with later on, and all these motions to delay and all that, or to motions to continue, that's expected to come up, but that will be dealt with then. But this judge is sending a message today by letting everybody know, no, we're not going to sever cases. And we're not going to waste time when we can just get this done as it needs to be done, period, which is great. Another great step for democracy yesterday, I believe it was yesterday, the Alabama federal court held the GOP accountable for their bullshit. The GOP, when they redrew the district map for voting next year, 2024, there was a certain district that would have given the black community a voice. They redrew the districting in such a sense that it diluted that black vote. And they were taken to court, and the court said, okay, we're going to give you a chance. Either go back and redraw it, or if you're going to keep this map that you've drawn, you have to draw a second district which gives that black community a voice. And they refused to do so. So since the GOP didn't want to do that, the Alabama federal court has appointed somebody nonpartisan outside who is experienced in things like this, redrawing district maps for election purposes. So the GOP will most likely take that to the Supreme Court and fight it and say, no, that it's not right. But we can see what it is. It's the Republican Party afraid to be, how can I say, not overturned, but yeah, overturned. They're afraid that this Democratic voice is coming after them, that the people are coming out to say, no, fuck this bullshit. You've done enough and no more. You're trying to oppress our vote. You're trying to oppress our voice. And the federal court saw right through it. Come on. A lot of you are going to say, oh, no, well, it's just political, whatever. Well, fuck, yeah, you're right. It's political because everybody deserves to be heard equally under a vote. Not just the white population, not just the Republican population, or even all Republicans, including, non-whites. Not just your voice is valuable. Not just your voice counts in elections. You have no right to make your districts bigger and other districts smaller just so you can maintain and retain power. That's not how it goes. You see, again, with everything going on, the GOP, Republicans, these fascists, these supremacists, they're scared, because they're feeling that pressure that they are now the minority. They're not the majority anymore. They are now the minority, and the majority is setting shit straight, So that's going to be, again, probably go up to the Supreme Court to fight that. But, with these two things that have happened here, these are steps in the appropriate direction, to fight this attempt to maintain and retain power for the Republican and the white class or the supremacist class. Also, in Wisconsin, there was a newly elected liberal Supreme Court, state Supreme Court judge, and the Republicans are trying to impeach her, and they don't want her sitting on there because she's liberal. She was elected, she's liberal. No, well, they won't find anything to impeach her on. She hasn't even decided on her first case, so they're already jumping the gun. What does that tell you? She won an election fair and square to the Supreme Court, and now here they go. They're afraid. Oh no, now we're starting to lose. Our foot, our ground, and our control here. Just like in Alabama, there's only one Democratic representative congressionally there, from what I understand. And by this new map being redone, that could potentially give the Alabama legislature a second Democratic seat, which then diminishes the power for the Republican Party there. See, and these are the things that happen. So for a long time, these Republicans and these supremacists and those that want to keep America white have pushed the envelope too far. They've pushed their authority too far, and now the people are standing up to say, no, you can't do this to us. You're not going to do this to us. This is not going to happen. This is going to be something that we're going to fight against, and we're going to retain. We're going to fight for democracy so everybody has a voice, and that's the thing about, those on the Democratic side. They're fighting for a voice for everybody, which includes the Republicans. The Democrats aren't saying, hey, we want to overrun and overtake this and not give the Republicans. No, man, you're worth having a voice. That's why your people go out and vote for your elections. But when it comes to us, you are not going to take away our right to elect duly people and to and to give ourselves a voice. All this stuff going on, this supremacy, this oppression, this stuff in Florida with DeSantis, and all that stuff has to go. And Gen Z and those that have been affected by Roe versus Wade, all those college kids that you're trying to take the vote away from by raising the voting age from 18 to 21, all those college kids, they're coming after that red wave that was supposed to happen. And on top of that, the Republican Party can't even support each other. The Republican Party can't even have each other's back. If you look at the Democrats, you don't see commercials about them, fighting and taking to court and fighting this and that and whatever. What you see is them doing things like legislating and visiting disastered countries and stuff like that. Republicans, all you see on the news is talk about we're going to do this and we're not going to support, we're not going to fund, and we're not this, and oh my God, and Hunter Biden, that's all you see. So that hate has just been, has made them blind and inadequate to their duties. If anything, they should all be held liable for not doing their duties right. All right, guys. So I just want to get that out there, and again, two big wins for the for the democracy. Excuse me, not the Democrats, but for democracy. And keep fighting, guys. We'll talk to you soon.